Okay, so let's talk about something that's really tough, but sometimes absolutely necessary. We're going to break down how to cut someone out of your life for good. And look, this isn't about creating drama. This is a real, practical guide to getting your peace back and actually moving on.
I know what you might be thinking. Can't I just block their number and be done with it? And yeah, that's part of it. But a true clean break, it's so much more than just one action. It goes way deeper than your contact list. And that's exactly what we're going to get into.
And this brings us to the real heart of the matter, something we can call psychological disentangling. Basically, it means you have to tackle two different things. You've got the practical side, the blocking, the deleting, but then there's the emotional and mental side. You have to untangle them from your head and your heart. And honestly, that's where the real work begins.
So, let's dive into our first step, making the clean break. It all, and I mean all, starts with one thing, a firm, clear, non-negotiable decision. Seriously, if you don't have this solid foundation, everything else you try to do is just going to fall apart.
So, what does a clear decision actually look like? Well, it means absolutely no mixed signals. You can't say you want space and then go like their photos. That just creates confusion. It also means you don't fall for that let's just be friends trap, especially if the relationship was damaging. And this is a big one, you have to stop the digital check-ins. Every single time you look at their last scene on WhatsApp, you're just picking at the scab.
And this really gets to the core of it. Ambivalence. That feeling of being stuck in the middle, being wishy-washy. It is the absolute enemy of healing. It keeps you chained to them emotionally and makes it impossible to actually move on. Okay, now we get to the most powerful tool in this entire process, the zero contact rule. This is not about being cruel or mean. It's hands down the single most effective psychological strategy to create the space you need to actually heal.
And these rules are strict for a very good reason. No calls, no texts, and definitely no just checking in. And it extends to the digital world too. No liking posts, no replying to that random message that somehow gets through, and no social media stalking. Zero means zero. It's a complete communication blackout.
And this little comparison really just spells it out, doesn't it? Partial contact, it might feel nicer in the moment, but it almost always leads to prolonged pain. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid incredibly slowly. Zero contact, on the other hand, it might feel harsh at first, but it is the fastest, most direct path to really, truly healing.
Now to make zero contact actually work, you gotta remove all the triggers. This is the practical cleanup phase. Delete their numbers so you're not tempted on a weekday. Erase the old chats. Get rid of the photos and the gifs that just spark memories. If you share passwords for Netflix or anything, change them. The whole point is to break those tiny daily routines and remove all the little memory traps that can suck you right back in.
All right, so once you've built all the external walls, the focus has to shift. The real battle moves from your phone and your inbox to your own mind. This is all about winning the internal game.
This is such a powerful, liberating idea. So often, we think we need that one last conversation, that one final explanation to get closure. But the truth is, real closure is something you give to yourself. It's a totally internal process, and you absolutely do not need them to be a part of it.
And let's be 100% clear on this. You don't owe a long, drawn-out explanation to someone who disrespected you, manipulated you, or used you. Your action, your decision to leave, is the explanation. That's enough. Winning the mental game also means managing your social circle. Hearing about them from other people can be just as bad as hearing from them directly. So you need a simple, neutral script for any mutual friends. Something like, hey, I'm not in contact with him anymore. Please don't give me any updates about him. It's clear, it sets a boundary, and it stops them from being a go-between.
But what happens when your own mind starts playing tricks on you? You know that thing where you start forgetting all the bad stuff and only remember the good times? It's such a common trap, but thankfully, there's a powerful tool to pull yourself right out of it.
This right here is your anchor to reality. I want you to literally write down the specific, concrete reasons why you left. Not just vague feelings, but the facts, the lies, the times you felt neglected, the disrespect, the anxiety you felt in your stomach whenever they were around. When your brain starts to paint this rosy picture of the past, you pull out this list and you read it. It grounds you back in your truth.
And this distinction is so important. The goal is not revenge. Wishing they would suffer or realize what they lost, that's just another form of attachment. It keeps you connected. It gives them power. The real win? It's detachment. True freedom is when you just don't care anymore. Indifference, that's your victory.
Okay, this brings us to our final and maybe most important section, rebuilding your world. Because, look, making the break is only half the battle. The other half is about what you build in the new space you've created for yourself.
There's a saying that nature abhors a vacuum, and our minds are kind of the same. When you remove a huge part of your life, it leaves a void, right? An emotional gap. And if you don't consciously and actively fill that void with positive stuff, you're going to risk falling right back into old, destructive patterns.
So what does filling that space look like? It means creating new, healthier patterns. Go to the gym, or even just for long walks. Call those friends who actually support you. Sign up for that class you've been curious about. Start journaling. Pour all that extra energy into your work. Listen to podcasts or audiobooks that make you feel strong. You are literally writing a new story for yourself.
And at the end of the day, this is the ultimate goal. You're making a huge shift. You are consciously replacing your emotional dependence on another person with a powerful, healthy focus on yourself, on your growth, your well-being, and your future.
So as we wrap this up, I want you to remember this. That quiet, that silence where their name used to pop up on your phone, that's not emptiness. That is victory. It's open space. So the real question now is, what are you going to build in it?